Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you, Dianne. How are you?
I am doing good. Man, I listened to the episode last week that you and Jeremy did without me, and it's wonderful to know that someone can jump in if I'm not available, because I hate having to skip a week, but also like, wow, look how much I'm not needed on my own podcast.
You're totally needed on your own podcast.
You guys did such a great job. I laughed so hard. There were so many great moments.
It was great. Like, I totally put everything on him. I was like, 'cause I just prepared the way that I always do, and I didn't think, like, oh no, I gotta prepare the way Dianne does. I gotta like steer the ship. But I just like, so Jeremy and I, like, ahead of the episode, I was just like, I'm sorry to do this to you, man, but you're just gonna have to do it. You're in the Dianne seat.
Yeah.
You're on the recording button. You're steering it.
Well, I mean, it was in good hands. Jeremy's better at this than I am, so I knew it was safe. So anyway, thank you again so much, Jeremy, for doing that. It was a wonderful episode.
He's got that great radio voice and that neatly ordered musical mind as well.
Genius little musical mind. This is going to be a long episode because we have 3 songs and our guest is in the waiting room, so we should move it along. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna cook. We're gonna fly through it though. We're gonna keep it moving. Should we bring in the guest?
Yes.
Bring him in. Introduce him.
All right. This is my friend and fellow stand-up comedian from Austin, Texas. Now was living in LA, then moved to Santa Fe during COVID. Let's bring in Mr. Doug Mellard.
Doug.
Waiting in the waiting room. There he is. Hey.
What's up?
Hey, Doug, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Doug, Ben, I don't know if you guys ever met when, like, I would see you, Doug, when you were in Austin and you would come to Houston a lot, but I don't know if that's when Ben was still in LA. Like, it's all confusing. I don't know if you guys ever met.
I don't remember. It was a blur. I was pretty drunk most of those days.
Yeah. I still am. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot from that era that I don't remember, but good to meet you now if we did meet before.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you too. Dianne was saying that you moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
I mean, I guess we did move here. You know, it's weird to say that, but yeah, we left. It was weird. We left at the beginning of quarantine. We actually, like, my wife and I, like, were really stressed out about, like, whether or not to come out this way, because at the time, you know, like, there were so many unknowns, and we had, like, my brother was saying, don't go that way because you could bring the fucking virus that way. And we felt like we were abandoning people, even though you can't see anybody.
Yeah.
So, like, it was this weird back and forth. But, like, my in-laws have this really nice house here, and we have a 1-bedroom apartment in LA. And they were like, go to the house and be safer. And we struggled with it. And as soon as we got here, we were like, why did we even debate this? Like,
you were texting me like, should I? I'm like, Doug, I'd be in the car now. Go.
Yeah. Thank you. You were in the right camp for sure. There are only a couple people fighting against it, but it was just like, there were so many unknowns. We were, like, stressed out. Like,
yeah, you didn't want to be the person that brings COVID from LA to beautiful little Santa Fe.
Yeah. But, you know, we thought we were going to be here for 3 weeks, and we packed accordingly. And then, you know, we've been here for 9 months. So,
Can you imagine being quarantined in a 1-bedroom for 9 months?
Oh,
You just must be so thankful.
Well, and I have, like, crazy, Dianne knows this, I have crazy mental health issues. So, like, that was definitely, like, up there. Like, we can hike, or just, if you go outside, we're on a dirt road, you can hike outside the front door, you know.
That's
like,
amazing.
you're in nature. And wait, I'll show you the view.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
Me and Corbin are obsessed with New Mexico. Oh my God.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah. And that does it no justice. It's crazy.
Holy shit, Doug. Me and Corbin should have come to see you guys during this.
There's a guest house.
Oh my God. Corbin's obsessed with New Mexico. I took him there in 2018. Yeah. We did, like, all of New Mexico, north and south, and he's obsessed with it. He's like, this is where I want to live.
I am happy to talk him up even more so if you want, or I think it's the right, like we're kind of the young pups here, and I'm in my 40s. It's like this funny uh, but like all of our friends here are much older, but it's like they look healthier than we do.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's just there's something about the lifestyle here that's like more relaxed and like there's just less worry, and I don't know, it's just
It's chill. It's so
it's
chill.
yes, like time slows down, which we all want at this point in life, like it's wonderful. And I got are we recording right now or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Oh,
It's okay.
I'm gonna change this story slightly then. Uh we as soon as we got in, there was we were like waiting for to go food at this place, like distanced, and my wife had a foot injury at the time, and it was pretty bad, and she was writhing in pain randomly, and this guy was like, "Are you okay?" Turns out the guy's like the town podiatrist or whatever. And
No.
then later in that conversation, we were talking about mushrooms, and then he ended up giving us acid, and we were just like, "Why? Let's just live here. This is great. This is the best place." Like, and it's
That's
funny because like
fate.
we had some mushrooms that we brought, but then we ran out because we thought we'd be here for 3 weeks, and then um, you know, stupidly we were like, "Oh God, what happens when we run out of drugs?" But we're like, it would be harder for us to find someone that can't offer us drugs. You know what I mean? Like, this place is great. It's great. You guys got to move out here.
Yeah, it's where the first Meow Wolf is,
Yeah.
and it's the best place on earth. Have you been? Okay, we'll get into the other
Yeah.
Meow
Yeah.
Wolves
Yeah.
later. We got to start. So I'm going to ask you
Yeah.
before we get into this episode. You said you packed clothes for 3 weeks. The shirt
Yeah.
you're wearing now, was that one of the shirts you just happened to
Yeah,
pack?
and this was for the podcast. This is Heartburn. It's a Talking Heads cover like tribute band. That's
amazing.
friends of ours that performed at our wedding. All Talking Heads is great. This and I got Zubas. I don't know if you can see these beauties. And I've got half of my clothes that I brought initially. We had to like buy some stuff since, but have Nicolas Cage on them. Like,
Oh.
I have this mild obsession with Nicolas Cage, and like I have pants that are just covered in his face, and then I brought like maybe 10 shirts that all have some form of Nicolas Cage on them. And like for 3 weeks that's funny, but then if you're here for 9 months, people are like, "Who the hell is that weirdo?" Like,
Well, my husband has Nicolas Cage tattooed on the front of his shin.
oh my God, I don't know if I knew that.
It's
I didn't either.
It's H.I. McDonough. It's him holding his when he's standing, and when you get your mugshot, and
Right.
and then he has the other main characters around the rest of his calf. So you're
What?
wearing it in clothing. My husband's wearing it for life on his skin.
Oh my God.
It's
What?
a great tattoo.
This is just me falling in love with Corbin more,
I
who
know.
never even really hung out.
You know what's really weird is you guys also kind of look alike. Like, it's
And
like you're his long lost brother or something.
oh my God, I love it. I can't wait. We're gonna cage rage so hard after all this.
Dude, it's gonna
It'll
be
be great.
amazing. I'm trying to pull. Okay, here it is, so you can see it. Oh God, let me see if I can get it focused on the screen.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. It's like a little white, but man.
Look
Oh
on
man.
add Corbin as a friend and look at it. It's great. It's a great tattoo done by the very talented Aaron Springs, who's kind of famous in the tattoo world.
Holy
Anyway, let's get into some talking heads. I guess we should explain. This was supposed to be a Patreon, and we put it out to the Patreon, and we had a 3-way tie, and we were going to be like, well, it's our podcast, we break the tie. But I was like, why don't we just talk about all three? Fucking love talking heads. Yeah.
When I tossed it out there to you, it was like, I don't know which one to pick, like.
And I'll have to say, Corbin said, you guys are all wrong. The best talking head song of all time is, what where did my head go? Flowers, the Flowers one.
Oh yeah, I love that song. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
I don't know
you
what happened
really
there.
can't go wrong with any Talking Heads song. Like,
No, you can't. I've
and
never heard one that I can be like pass.
right, and it was again like Heartburn played at our wedding, so it was heavily it's just very close to my wife Lynn and I, and then after that, as a like a late wedding gift, she got me tickets to go see the Broadway David Byrne
Wow.
show, and it was like, I mean, I was like tearing up through the majority of the whole show. Like it was just, if you haven't watched it, I think it's on HBO right now, HBO Max. Like you can check it out. It is perfect, and it's a lesson that we all should be doing yoga because David Byrne is close to 70 and more limber than I will ever be, and in better shape.
Oh my God.
It was like a 2 or 3 hour show, and he didn't take one break. I would be
Wow.
dead.
No, I can't do that. I can't. I get exhausted watching my son play Minecraft. I can't do this. All right. So the first song we're going to jump into is Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
Psycho Killer. I can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous, and I can't relax. I was reading this song was on Talking Heads 77, which came out in 1977. I never put it together, but that's of course the same year that David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, was terrorizing New York.
Right.
So
Right.
when this song came out, everybody assumed that it was a very timely tune about David Berkowitz, about this before he was captured, when this song was a hit. But it wasn't, because this was the first song that the Talking Heads wrote. They wrote it in like 1973 when they were students at what the Rhode Island Design Institute. They're a bunch
Rhode
of art
Island
school
School
kids.
of Design, and it was David Byrne and drummer Chris Frantz, and the band was called the Artistics.
Whoa. Is that the only big thing to come out of Rhode Island? Thank you, Rhode Island. That counts a lot. So
that'll do. That weird Boston Rhode Island accent is somehow even more obnoxious than the anyway. Don't get me started on the Boston accent. I can't sleep because my bed's on fire. Don't touch me. I'm a real live wire. So this is a scary dude. This is a scary man. He needs his space, isolating a little bit, sort of taxi driver-y.
Yeah. Did you see? Oh, hell no. My lawn guys just showed up. Can you hear the leaf blower?
That's every Zoom podcast ever in quarantine. There's always something.
Fucking shit. Okay, we'll just work through it. Yeah, they said that David Byrne wanted to write like shock rock was all the rage. He wanted to write a song like the way Alice Cooper did, but I think he did it way better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper's got nothing on this song. And
No.
These lyrics are terrifying.
Yeah. I don't mean to show my biases, but I don't think there's too many things that Alice Cooper doesn't do anything better than David Byrne does.
No.
I think that My Bed's on Fire also might be about restless leg syndrome, if anyone's ever had it.
You
I have
Doug?
it. It's the worst. It feels like you're on fire. But, and then it makes you want to go psycho and kill people. So I think it all ties in.
I get it. I do get it.
You could make like those late night infomercials about restless leg syndrome just with David Byrne videos. Like, do you have restless leg? And there he is, just moving around in his gigantic suit.
Oh my God.
I love the way he dances. It's like my son is gonna grow up to be David Byrne, I swear.
Oh, yeah,
I was watching all those
great
videos. David Byrne has a real like Pete Buttigieg sort of thing to him, doesn't he?
Oh wow, yeah.
What do you
I
mean?
gotta rewatch everything now.
He's got that kind of like cutesy, nice guy with a lot going on under the surface kind of thing that I think he shares with Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? I didn't know that. Far better. Every lyric sheet, because I looked it up on a couple of different places, and they all say far better. I always thought it was just a stutter. I didn't realize it was far better.
Yeah.
Better run away. But he says far better.
Yeah.
So there's a double meaning.
Did you see why he used the fa? He's a huge fan of Otis Redding, and there's an Otis Redding song called fa. It's called Sad Song, and It's like, yeah, it starts off with the fa 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 fa. It's really cool.
And like, it can't get any cooler to have an Alice Cooper and an Otis Redding influence in one song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
amazing.
come on.
And then there's
down.
gonna be more. We're gonna hit Psycho and
Right. Yeah.
Psycho killer. Everybody together.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Ba, 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 ba. Oh yeah, sorry. Are we going to run, run, run?
Run, run, run away.
Should we talk about what qu'est-ce que c'est means in French?
Say means what is this in French, right? So it's very mysterious. Psycho killer. What is this?
Run away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't spend a whole lot of time examining it. Just run away. He's a psycho killer, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You start a conversation, you can't even finish it. You're talking a lot, but you're not saying anything. When I have nothing to say, my lips are sealed. Say something once, why say it again? Oh, that's absolutely a psycho killer thing to say. I told you once, now I have to get out the zip ties.
I just feel there's so many times where I'm reading the lyrics where I'm like, am I a psycho killer? Because I feel the same way. I get impatient where I'm like, can you focus? Like, why are we still talking about this? Like when I don't have anything to add to a conversation, I just don't. So I'm like, why is this relatable? This is getting me kind of freaking out.
I used to try to do it. Years ago, I tried to do a bit about psycho killers and how, like, is that like the first step? Like you just make the decision, like I'm psychotic, it's time to start killing people, or do you work your way up to it? Like I know there's like the animal torture and things like that, but is there like people torture as well, where you're just like inviting somebody over to your house to look at your neatly organized sock drawer? Look at these crisp hospital corners. My bathroom is organized.
Ben, you should see my sock drawer.
Oh my God. This song's about Dianne.
I sweep my entire house.
Disarray?
No, it's highly organized. I sweep my entire house every day, but it helps me think. I get my best thinking done when I'm sweeping. Also, I have 2 dogs and a husband and a kid, and they come in and out of the house all day, and I have full tile floors, like no carpet, all tile, because after the flood we had to rip up all of our shit, so we're like never again. And so I can like see the dirt on it, and I'm crazy. I have to sweep it every day. Okay, well, we're gonna keep going.
You guys really have to visit if you're really into sweeping. Like you can just sweep up, and that'll pay for your visit.
Okay, all right, I'm on it.
Does anybody want to attempt the French in the third verse?
I know what the English translation is. I cannot do. I mean, I can do like the way. So when I would hear this song, especially they played a lot at Numbers. We talk about it a lot on this podcast. One of my favorite clubs to dance to in Houston. And like when I'm just drunk and like singing out loud as I'm dancing, it's like Rio listo, mon espoir. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's my way of pronouncing it.
Pretty drunk American girls, the most popular thing in Paris. Ce que j'ai fait ce soir-là, c'est qu'elle dit ce soir-là. There we go. Okay. 9 years of French school in Edmonton, Alberta. That's the best I can do. I apologize, everybody. I apologize.
Well, you probably did it way better than I did.
The English translation is rough, but it's what I did that evening, what she said that evening, fulfilling my hope, headlong I go towards glory.
Yeah, I have something similar. Yeah.
Mm.
So they said it reveals the psycho killer is targeting a woman, just as Norman Bates did in the movie Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
So did you see who wrote these lyrics and why? So no. I'm so sorry if you can hear that leaf blower. It's not.
Is this going to end in you murdering the leaf blower guy? It's going to come full circle.
So, like they said, they wrote this song when they were in college, and Byrne wanted a Japanese section in the bridge. But when he asked this girl who spoke Japanese to come up with some murderous lyrics, it kind of freaked her out. She didn't want to do it.
Oh my God.
So France, his friend, the drummer Chris Frantz had a girlfriend named Tina Weymouth who spoke French, and so they had her write it, and she used the movie Psycho for her inspiration, and she wrote this part, which is pretty cool. And then go ahead.
I feel really bad for this Japanese girl.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I wonder how he approached her and asking her to, like, hey, I'm writing a song from the perspective of a guy that murders someone. And she's like, sure.
He's like, do you want to come to my dorm room and help me write the lyrics?
Check out my sock drawer.
And we all have seen David Byrne. He's not normal looking. He looks like Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't any better when he was 18 or 19 in college. Not any smoother.
No.
Yeah.
We had a German foreign exchange student when I was in high school, and a friend of mine got out the German English dictionary and he translated the sentence, your body enchants me and I will take it by force if necessary. Because that's funny when you're 17. It's not funny, but that was funny for a 17-year-old high school kid. So he works on it, and he learns how to say it, and he goes up to her and he just gets it all out, and she just looked at him blank face and just went, your pronunciation is terrible.
That's great. That's great. She didn't just slap him and run.
Yeah, which you would think would be the German thing to do.
Yeah. So let's get to the very last two lines, because it's another Dianeism, actually.
We are vain and we are blind. I hate people when they're not polite. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have been quoted as saying, I know this is contradictory to the meaning, but I wish you could actually kill people with kindness. Like, I get so enraged when people are not fucking nice.
Yeah.
Smelt a broadsword, name it kindness, and then go kill him with kindness. It's the best advice I ever got. Thanks, Jason Berger.
Yeah.
My wife's favorite thing to do in traffic when somebody's, cut her off or screaming at her, she, instead of, flipping off or screaming back, she does the killing with kindness, where she's just like, thank you. And it's so fun to witness. It makes them so much more enraged. It's beautiful. Like,
I can see Flynn doing this. Flynn is so joyful and so sweet. I can't picture her mad. I can't picture you guys fighting. So I can just see it.
Yeah, it's great. I highly recommend. It's so easy to cave into screaming at someone, but if you can just be really sweet back, it just makes them so much more upset. And you just watch this volcano of rage, and they don't know what to do with it. So.
Oh, that's perfect. That's how you do that. That's how you do
Fuck
that.
you. I love you too.
You're having a bad day. You should talk to somebody. Don't keep it all inside. I didn't know this, but Tina Weymouth and Chris Frantz left the Talking Heads and formed the Tom Tom Club. I never knew that.
That's crazy. I didn't know that until about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Genius of Love was another favorite song that I love dancing to. So that's really cool.
I didn't know until I started doing the research, but when you listen to Genius of Love, it sounds very Talking Headsy, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. I'm going to have to go listen to all of Tom Tom Club now. So we have two more songs to get through. I hate to rush this, but I will say that I told Ben earlier, I thought this was really cool. In 2017, Selena Gomez, she had a song called Bad Liar, and she sampled the bass line of Psycho Killer, and they asked David Byrne about it, and he was like, I don't have a problem with it. I would have an issue if someone took, say, This Must Be the Place, because that song is very personal to me. Other than that, repurpose the stuff. I don't care. Which I think is cool.
Very, yeah. And
speaking of This Must Be the Place, should we head into that one?
Yeah.
I can't hear this song. I think I'm probably pretty similar to a lot of people, but every time I hear This Must Be the Place, I think of Wall Street. I think of Charlie Sheen and Daryl Hannah walking through that garish New York apartment that she's going to remodel for him as he's getting rich. And that.
It's different for me, and I'm so glad. I mean, I saw Wall Street when I was really young, but I don't have a memory of it. This song does something to my soul. This is one of my all-time favorite songs. You guys were wondering on the last podcast which one it was, and of course you guys were right. It's this one. And the only way I can explain it is like I can be in a bad mood, I can be driving. Anytime this song just comes on, it's like my shoulders drop, just that melody. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love this song. Like, it's just musically so beautiful. I don't even know what it does to me musically. And then like the lyrics of it, someone on the Song Facts website put it so well that the lyrics are far from direct, with none of the gooey textures we're used to hearing from smitten songwriters, which I feel like it's like such an honest love song about like whenever you know something's right, but you just can't explain it, it just is. And I feel like that's what the lyrics of the song does.
Right.
Yeah. There's almost like a shrugging ambivalence to it where it's just like, I guess this is love.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You see reactions online, and it's like there are some people that take it like a negative way, like this guy doesn't know what love is and he's just kind of along for the ride. But then I don't take it that way at all. And it almost feels like someone that's just hasn't experienced it for real. Like they thought they maybe had, and like, but this is really the real deal or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, God, this song's beautiful. It's the song. I'm gonna send you a link to my wedding video because it's like throughout, and it's the Kishi Bashi cover. I don't know if you've ever heard that version. There are like 1,000 versions of this song. It's like one of the most covered songs, I bet. And like each one, like bands I've never heard of, I love the different renditions of it. I think it's amazing. But
well, yeah, like last week, Jeremy said that this was his wedding processional song, which is, I'm like, wow, this song really does get around and hit everybody in the same way.
I tried for our wedding, by the way, that we had like strings, and I tried to get them to do the Axel Foley Beverly Hills Cop theme as I walked down the aisle, and they refused. And we were like, "You work for us!" I was so angry, but we settled for "Sweet Child of Mine," which I didn't. That's a good second place.
Okay, oh, that would have been great.
My one regret.
All right, we'll get into the lyrics, but I will stop you and say that you said some people took a negative idea of him understanding the song, and obviously I think it's a love song, but I had a funny idea about it. But let's get into the lyrics first.
Okay.
Home is where I want to be. Pick me up and turn me round. I love it when they don't say around. I don't know why. It's the word he gave me. Pick me up and turn me round. How very English of you. Dickens. I feel numb, born with a weak heart. I guess I must be having fun.
So that
just leaves everything so wide open. Like, I guess I must be having fun. This must be the place. Like it's not. Yeah. It doesn't come right over the top with like this is the place. It's just like this. Like the guy's just like, I guess this is it.
So what I was gonna say,
it's like that meme. Like, is this happiness?
Is this? I've always joked that this specific verse, I guess I must be having fun, is how I would imagine, going back to Psycho Killer, a psychopath strangely feeling love for the first time, or like being like, whoa, I guess I feel numb, but I guess I must be having fun. And
this is weird. I no longer want to murder you.
I know. I guess this. So do you guys ever watch Killing Eve? Have you ever seen that show?
No.
So I'll just break it down real quick. It's a psychopath lesbian love story.
Oh, why am I not watching this?
It's incredible. So Villanelle is an international female assassin, and she falls in love with Eve, who is a British intelligence operative who's been tracking her, who is also kind of obsessed with her. Spoiler, at the end of the first season, Eve stabs Villanelle, and that's the moment Villanelle, the psychopath, falls in love with her, because like psychopaths can't feel anything. They love watching people die, and that is how Villanelle understands love, because she felt that pain and she felt something for the first time. So they become obsessed with each other. And so that's what I think of when I hear the song, that lyric. I'm born with a weak heart. I guess I must be having fun. I kind of think about it. I like to think about it in a psychopath feeling love for the first time. Anyway, go watch Killing Eve. We'll keep going.
That's probably the best plug for that show ever.
I know.
I'm in.
The less we say about it, the better. Make it up as we go along. Feet on the ground, head in the sky. It's okay. I know nothing's wrong. Nothing. So he's feeling pretty good about it. The less we say about it, the better. Make it up as we go along. Like that's even as he's writing a song about it, it's almost like he's giving up on it. Like why even bother trying to describe these feelings? They are what they are. It's good. Time to roll with it.
And it's not overthinking it, because you ruin it when you overthink it. He's like, let's not ruin this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's not get involved with roses and rainbows and dewdrops. Let's just live the life.
Yeah. Let's be present.
Every line is perfect.
You look like you have stars in your eyes. Your hands are cupped like this, and you're just like, just read me the lyrics.
Tell me the bedtime story. Hi yo.
Hi.
I got plenty of time. Can we everybody do their hi yo?
Hi
yo.
I got plenty of time. Hi yo. You got light in your eyes and you're standing here beside me. I love the passing of time. Never for money, always for love. I've never heard that. Like, I love the passing of time is a really, I'd never heard that line in that song before. Like, that's
passing of time.
It's kind of fascinating. You never hear anybody say it. It's always just like everybody, every songwriter, every poet wants to like slow time down, live in the moment,
Right.
like make sure that this lasts forever. He's like, nah, I got plenty of time. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're in love. It's gonna last forever.
But it didn't.
I
know.
I didn't know that about this song until.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he wrote it about. So, did you read the same thing, that it's most likely about Adele Lutz, and the couple married in '87, had a daughter, and divorced in 2004.
Yeah. So the song is bullshit.
Fucking
Well,
but he had the daughter.
Burn.
He did. They had the daughter.
That's never ending love.
Yes, it lives on through her. The song lives on through her.
Yes. But it sounds like it's a very special song to this day. And like you just said, with who is it, Selena Gomez? Like,
Yeah.
Was this the only love song by them?
It seems like it is.
Yeah, it might be.
I think it is, because he did a lot of like just fictional songs and not political commentary, but we'll get to that with Road to Nowhere. But this was like kind of the only love song he wrote.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. Why would he have to keep doing it?
Don't do a sequel.
Yeah, we don't need you to air supply this. You nailed it on the first try. We don't have to keep,
That's why they're not doing Elf 2.
That's great. All right.
Cover up and say goodnight. Say goodnight into the second verse. Home is where I want to be, but I guess I'm already there. He's always guessing. I guess he's having fun. I guess I'm already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, again, some of the lyrics that people kind of pick apart is like, this guy's not all in, but and they were saying because it's called Naive Melody, like in parentheses, people took that as like a negative remark, but like I think I saw that like that was just the placeholder name for a minute.
Yeah, it was literally what they were just calling the melody at the time, and they didn't want to get rid of that part of the name because they liked it. And maybe it is part of it. You are being naive when you're in love for the first time, but he's like, I'm going with it. It feels good.
Yeah.
I read that they did the thing that I've read a couple of songwriters do when they're feeling stifled creatively, and they switch up instruments. So instead of playing the instrument that you're an expert at, you play the one that you're only, have a passing knowledge of. And that kind of ignorance kind of leads to creativity. It's how like REM wrote Man on the Moon that way. It's the bassist of REM did the guitar line on that one, or most of the guitar work on it. So they switched this up, and I think that's why they called it Naive Melody, because it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing with this guitar.
What is I don't know my musical instruments at all. I did not take band. So The what is that? What instrument is that? Is it a flute?
It's studio magic, Diane. I think that's a keyboard.
Is it a keyboard?
Yeah, it's keyboard. Yeah.
Got it. Is it a keyboard pretending to be a flute?
Sounded like a circus theme there for a second.
It did. If Diane, if you like this song, you may also like.
I'm the same way though. I'm terrible. I can't pick out instruments.
No clue.
But yeah, keyboard.
Well, I have a keyboard. Maybe I can do this. Okay, where we leave off?
In the next line, he gets a little lyrical and fluttery. I come home, she lifted up her wings. You could see Peter Cetera would lift up wings as well. Other more maudlin songwriters have definitely had their ladies lift up their wings. I come home, she lifted up her wings. I guess this must be the place. I can't tell one from another. Did I find you or you find me? I really like that sentiment too. That's another question that's the only place I've ever heard that one asked. Like, I mean, there's always like the who said, you know, like who fell in love first or who said I love you first. Like I've heard that question before, but did you find, were you looking for me or was I looking for you? Is not a way I've ever really heard it put.
It's so nice.
Mm-hmm. Like you must have been looking for me because I wasn't trying to be found. There was a time there was a time before we were born. If someone asks, this is where I'll be, where I'll be. I mean, that's kind of like that. I don't know if it's Buddhism or what that is, but that's basically like there's a time before we were born when you're safe somewhere out there in the ether before you've actually come into this corporeal realm. Am I even saying that word right? I don't know. I'm being a dipshit.
We don't need you to push religion down our throats, Ben. This got preachy.
Yeah. Well, you could just say
that
they're cosmically connected, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that safety and security of the time before you were born.
Yeah.
Where everything is still certain, I guess that's where he wants to return to. So that's kind of, it's a little doom and gloomy, but also very, very sweet. Hi-yo! We drift in and out. Sing into my mouth with all those kinds of people. You got a face with a view. I really like that line. You got a face with a view. That's both ways. Like looking at you, you're so pretty, but also that face is looking out at me.
Yeah. I always thought that was an interesting line. Like it would, like if this guy's telling me all this stuff and I'm taking it in, although I'd probably be like, I don't know how to accept love like this.
Back to Psycho Killer Diane.
Diana's problems. But as soon as he says you got a face with a view, I was like, oh, so this is about you. But no, it's great. I love the sing into my mouth. It was just how they're just kind of blending and twirling into each other.
Mm-hmm.
God, this is the perfect love song.
Yeah.
And screw all these people that tear it down.
Yeah.
Those are just grumpy, miserable people.
Yes.
And no one will ever love them. You heard it here first. I'm just an animal looking for a home and share the same space for a minute or two. And you love me. And you love me till your heart stops. Love me till I'm dead. Eyes that light up, eyes that look through you. Cover up the blank spots. Hit me on the head.
Yeah, when he screams, when he shrieks, and you love me till my heart stops. I mean, it's just, I think everybody on the dance floor just like says that part out loud with arms stretched. Like, it's just such a great song. And he just like, yelps it. I love it when they yelp.
Best part of any song, the yelps.
This must be the place. I'm trying to see if I had anything else in my notes. No,
it got covered by a lot. We were talking about it. It got like Arcade Fire and bands like that have covered it. And listening to it again, I started like it's almost like a hipster song from way before hipsters were defined.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's this pastiche of all these different sorts of genres. Like before Mumford and Sons tried to bring back jug music, like here are these guys using like African beats and Motown and then straight up like 80s sort of synth rock, for lack of a better word.
Right.
New
I-
wave, I guess.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the Kishi Bashi version. If you don't know him, he plays violin. He plays a lot of different instruments and he does a lot of looping, but the violin with this song is just amazing.
Oh,
It's
I
it's a great
bet.
cover. It's been used in a couple films, I think. And then Ben Bridwell from Band of Horses does a cover too. That's
Oh.
really, really good.
Mm.
But
I would be so mad if I heard someone cover this and mess it up. Because
right.
you know,
I don't think you can though.
I
That's
don't
the
think you
thing is
can.
I've listened to what I think is almost all the versions. Like you can go down this deep wormhole. There's so many covers. And again, so many bands I've never heard of, but the lyrics are so perfect that it's really hard to screw up. You know, there might be a corny version of it, but like he did such good work with, you know, with the foundation that it's hard to mess up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it straight up sounds effortless. Like it's
Yeah.
anybody can do that. It's sort of like it's almost like a Lou Reed song in that way. Like you hear it, just go, I can do that. Give me a guitar.
Right.
Yeah, it has a simplicity. It has like there's such a simplicity in the lyrics, but also in the way that like most people can't write it the way he did. Like when something looks easy, it never is. Like you have to be David Byrne to make it look that simple and easy. It's just great. It's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of effort going in to make it look easy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Sean Penn movie? This Will Be the Place, or this must be the place.
No. What's
It's
it about?
I mean, to say it's fantastic is maybe not the right word, but it's definitely worth. It's called This Must Be the Place, and Sean Penn plays an aging rock star that's clearly modeled on Robert Smith of The Cure. Like he's got the
Wow.
big black curly hair and the lipstick and everything like that. He's got a really sort of like feminine countenance to him, sort of like a high pitched voice. But he's just a down on his luck aging rock star who is obsessed with the song "This Must Be the Place" by
Oh my
the
God.
Talking Heads.
Whoa.
Like it's really like the whole movie must have just come about from like Sean Penn going, I've invented this character, somebody write me a movie.
Wow.
Like
Oh my
he
gosh, I've
must have
never
just been
heard
watching
of
like a
this.
Robert Smith clip and just took over his soul.
What year was the movie? Is this young Sean Penn
This
or?
is
No, it's
2017.
yeah, it wasn't that
Oh,
long
really?
ago. Yeah. No,
Oh, wow. I was joking.
Probably no, I think it's somewhere around there. Maybe
Oh my
probably-
God.
I would say it's probably maybe 2009, 2010 or something like that.
Okay.
Uh,
Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Of course I am.
It wasn't that long ago. But yeah, it's just like Sean Penn stole Robert Smith's soul and had to make a movie out of it.
Well, I'm in. You know how I feel about both of these people. So all right. Song number 3, which I love how it just brings us back to the very first song we covered on Rock the Cash Bar. So I'll set it up saying 2 years before REM proclaimed it's the end of the world as we know it, Talking Heads shared the sentiment in their single Road to Nowhere, a deceptively upbeat pop rock tune about facing a dire future with optimism. Which is how we started this podcast back in March in the middle of a pandemic. And we started with it's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
Oblivion doesn't have to be such a bad thing.
Right.
Well,
It is
so Road to Nowhere. I've always heard this song, like when they play it on the radio, like I'd never really heard the choral opening to it, the choral intro. Like I've always just heard it just like anytime I think of the Road to Nowhere, I think of that drum cycle kicking in. Like I'd never the choir was a new thing for
Well,
me.
we know,
I don't know how I'm missing
where we're going. Yeah.
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been. And we know what we're knowing, but we can't say what we've seen. And we're not little children, and we know what we want. And the future is certain. Give us time to work it out. So it's hopeful.
Okay.
I mean, it is doomed, but also hopeful.
It's
We're not little children.
pessimism or pessimistic optimism.
It doesn't matter. We'll be fine.
And then David starts singing.
This is another song that always reminds me of it. Like this always reminds me of Reality Bites. Like
Yes.
constantly. It's like the title track to her, or not the title track, but the intro to the documentary that she's making in the middle of that movie. That her boyfriend Ben Stiller gets on MTV and somehow he's an asshole. I'm sorry, a lot of people have made that point. But I mean, when was the last time you watched Reality Bites? Go back and watch it. I defy you to tell me who is the good guy and who is the bad guy in that movie.
I am a Reality Bites fan because it was filmed in Houston. I lived on the street where the house was that they all lived together.
Whoa.
Garofalo. I lived on that street. I would walk by that house every day.
Wow.
I went to the gas station where she uses her dad's credit card to get money. I passed that gas station all the time. So this movie was like so special to us because Houston doesn't get a lot of credit for anything good, but we have a lot of good shit. God damn it. 3 times openly lesbian mayor. No one talks about it. I mean, everybody's like, oh, Austin's so liberal. I'm like, really? Who has the biggest fucking gay pride parade? It's not Austin. Anyway, get off my soapbox. I agree with you, Ben. There is nothing about Ethan Hawke that was good. He was a shitbird, man. And this other boyfriend, yes, he was a yuppie, but he was helping her get to her dream. I feel you.
You got your documentary about your dumb friends on MTV, for God's sake.
Although they did kind of ruin it and, tore it apart and it didn't look like how she wanted it to look. I get it.
What?
I gotta rewatch this.
Go watch. We have so much homework.
Flynn's gonna freak out that you lived on that street because she grew up in Houston, so this is a huge movie in her life.
Yeah. Okay. We're on a road to nowhere. Go for it, Ben.
We're on a road to nowhere. Come on inside. Sorry, sometimes I can't stop myself from singing. Taking that ride to nowhere, we'll take that ride. Apparently, that's the genesis of the song. Like I've never written a song. I don't know how it goes, but from what I've read a couple of days, they have that idea, that little kernel, and then everything builds out from there. And according to David Byrne, apparently, he had those 2 lines: "We're on a road to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere, we'll take that ride." And then from there, it's just like, well, that's good enough. I got to write a whole song around that.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. I'm feeling okay this morning, and we're on a road to paradise. Here we go. We're on a ride to nowhere. Come on inside. Taking that ride to nowhere. We'll take that ride. Hopeful we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you wonder where you are, which kind of echoes. What's their huge big song? This is not my beautiful house. Yeah.
Once in a lifetime.
Like that. This lyric. Maybe you wonder where you are. I don't care. Here is where time is on our side, which again, like that echoes from This Must Be the Place.
Yeah.
There was a time before we were born, but oh my God, why didn't I highlight it? You know what I mean. Like this is where time is on our side. Take you there. We're on a road to nowhere. 3 times. There's a city in my mind. Come along, take that ride. It's all right. And then here's like the classic rock lyrics. And it's all right, baby. It's all right. That might be like like how many songs is that line? It's all right, baby. It's all right. It's like the intro and the outro to every single rock and roll song.
So does this mean they're just like on a road? Like there's a city in my mind. Let's just go. Is that what he's saying here?
Santa Fe.
Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, it's that way that you create your future. Like you just have to fake it till you feel it. You have to envision it before you can make it a reality. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like let's give in. We're all fucked. Go along with it.
Let's all get some mushrooms and go meet Doug in Santa Fe.
Yeah. Safely.
Get a COVID test before you come, or a vaccine. That'd be great.
And then party. End of times party. It's like the people on the roof in Independence Day that are just like, we're gonna die. They're celebrating up there. They're like, fuck it. Here come the UFO lasers.
And they're
the most amazing thing about Independence Day is that there is anybody in that titty bar where Vivica A. Fox is dancing on that day. Like, how driven! Like there's aliens. I gotta see some boobs. I gotta see as many boobs as I can.
Wow, I never thought of that, but yeah.
Well, I think of it as like the guys who have never seen boobs. They're like, I'm going now. It's my last chance.
We're not checking IDs at the door today. Are you crazy? Come on in, fellas.
I gotta see them titties.
Can you imagine a titty bar full of 12-year-old boys? Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
It's so fucked up.
Just the crying, the giggling.
Lots of giggling, just little red-faced boys. And if she came near them, they'll all be like, ah! Like,
I just pictured a guy like rushing to get there, and he just got a little note that says bucket list, and it just says titties, and he's just like, check. And then the laser.
Highlight.
And then lasers. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, Ben, land the song.
And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. And it's all right, baby. It's all right. Would you like to come along? You can help me sing the song. And it's all right, baby. It's all right. So it is hopeful.
It is. It is.
So it is. They can tell you what to do, but they'll make a fool of you. And it's all right, baby. It's all right. And they will. Oh, they will make a fool of you. There's a city in my mind. Come along and take that ride. It's all right, baby. It's all right. And it's very far away, but it's growing day by day. Would you like to come along? You can help me sing the song. They can tell you what to do, but they'll make a fool of you. It's all right, baby. It's all right.
Yeah, it's very Zen.
It
Again,
is.
very like Buddhist, kind of like, let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah, like it's fine. It's going to be fine.
You don't have any control of it, apparently, so just go with it.
Yeah. This song made me think of a cartoon I saw a couple of days ago. It's just like some stressed out, like modern guy in his suit and everything like that. He's just going, nothing makes sense. And then there's a Buddhist guy sitting peacefully next to him, just goes, it really does, doesn't it?
That's really awesome.
I'm checking to make sure I made, like, right at the beginning of quarantine when we came out here, I made a couple quarantine playlists on Spotify, and I'm like, this has to be in here, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be. It's the perfect doomsday. When we were driving out here and the roads were empty, it's like a 13-hour drive. Took us 11 hours, and because no one was on the road. And I immediately, we were both tense. We got about 2 hours of sleep, and I put on the Terminator 2 soundtrack. Because it felt like the end of times.
That's really funny. I didn't. What's on the Terminator 2 soundtrack?
Just the do-do-do-do-do. Just because it felt very like we're driving through the desert. Yeah. It was just so eerie, and like we weren't really talking. We were just kind of staring ahead. And I was just like, I got to break the tension. So I threw that song on, and Flynn started cracking up, and then like it made for
That's perfect.
I think Paradise City is on the T2 soundtrack, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, is it? They wrote a song. They wrote a "You Could Be Mine" was the song they wrote for it.
I remember that. That's right. That's such
Sorry, I took us way off topic with Terminator 2.
God, you and Corbin, he would come in with RoboCop. It's just, oh God, okay. Yeah, we got to get you two together.
I saved Robert Patrick's life one time.
Did you?
T-1000. Yeah.
How? Tell that story.
So the way I don't want to say saved his life. I helped him a bit. I was walking into a Vons, a grocery store in LA in Koreatown, and I saw this guy. As soon as I walk in, like you could hear it from like 30 yards away, his face just hit the ground. He passed out, and I run over, and people were stepping over him because a lot of like homeless people go into that grocery store. So I think a lot of like LA folks were just like, another passed out homeless guy. Yeah. I got to get my ice cream. It was so shitty. I was the only one that went over to like see if this guy was okay. And I'm like, sir, are you okay? Sir, are you okay? And he's screaming into the ground. And I'm like, oh God, this guy might be crazy or on something. So I'm like, I have a distance, but like, I'm also trying to be helpful. And then he rolls over. He's not talking to himself. He's got like an earbud in. He's talking on his iPhone. And then I immediately recognized his eyes. It was Robert Patrick. And so like the 12-year-old boy in me was like, it's the Terminator. But he's dying. And he could barely talk, and he was red, and he was starting to puff up, and he had been stung by a bee, and he's like deathly allergic.
Oh no.
And he was like, my throat's like starting to close. He was like, can you go to the pharmacy and get an EpiPen or some, what was it, liquid Benadryl, because that can help the throat from closing. So I run to the pharmacy. I'm like, hey, there's this guy, he's passed out. And they like acted, they were also like, another homeless guy. It was so shitty. They like, and until I said it's the Terminator, that's when people started helping. It was so fucked up. It like made me so angry. And like I go back and he like lifts his shirt up to show me how swollen he was. He was so like puffy. And then he tried to pay me and I was like, dude, I'm not taking your money. And like he was just like being like very thankful. And it was like, and then I had a show right after this, and I like stayed with him as long as I could, and then I made sure he got in the back of an ambulance, and then I'm just kind of like waving bye to Robert Patrick leaving the same parking lot, and then I got to go tell jokes, and like it was so weird. And then I got in my head, I was like, I don't know if he's gonna survive. Like I assumed he was, but like the rest of the night, I was like worried about Robert Patrick. So like I had my manager at the time reach out to his manager, and like they gave me, I ended up getting his management's number or something. And so I call at like 4 a.m. or something. I'm like, hey, I saw Mr. Patrick pass out at the grocery store, and I'm the liquid Benadryl guy, and I don't want anything, which sounds like you want something. I was like, I want to know that he's okay. And then I got this email from his management, and they were just like, he's doing great, thank you so much. And like, and then, but like, yeah, I didn't sleep that night. It was crazy.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, so if the end of the world comes, I save the Terminator, and it's all my fault.
Well, you know, you wouldn't, he tried to pay you, but I think Corbin might pay you now for saving the Terminator. It's amazing.
He was so nice while he was dying. It was crazy. Like,
oh my God.
Like he was in bad shape, and he was just like apologetic to me and like thanking me, and it was just like, dude, like just live, like just breathe. I kept telling him, I was like, let me talk to your doctor, like, because I didn't want him like, using any excess air. It was so crazy. And then to go tell jokes after that in some dive bar in like Santa Monica. Oh God, so weird.
That's a great day. I would consider that a great day.
You get like all like intense like emergency medical technician with him. It's like, I've seen you survive shotgun blasts. You survive a bee sting.
Yeah, it's like all that stuff in Terminator 2, and then he gets stung by a bee and he just collapses.
Fucking bee takes him down. Oh my God. I get so scared with like anaphylactic shock. That shit terrifies me. Just the idea of your throat closing. We're like, it's over. Like,
yeah,
that's how I breathe. God. It's over.
Oh, and it was a bee that flew into his SUV.
Oh my God.
He was like in his car. He had the window down. Like,
so he just flies open the door, runs inside the first building, like, help.
Yeah, he must have been going to the pharmacy to like, try to get help. Like it was the closest thing, but that's horrible luck to just have a bee fly into your car and sting you when you're really allergic.
I mean, no kidding. If I were Robert Patrick, I would walk around with the most current photo of Edward Furlong that I could find. Just like anytime I catch somebody like just like looking at me sideways, like, is that the guy? I'd just be like, have you seen this boy? I would never get tired of doing that.
Oh my God, yes.
That boy is 47 years old. I know.
That's awesome. All right, let's wrap it up because we're hitting the hour mark. Let's get to, I think right now is a perfect time to insert our 6 degrees of Tommy Stinson with Jeremy Essig. So let's see how he connects the talking heads with Tommy Stinson.
Hey, Barflies, it's time for another on-location edition of 6 Degrees of Tommy Stinson, where we're going to have very little video this week, but we are coming to you from Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis, and we're going to connect Tommy Stinson to the Talking Heads. Now, weekly listeners to this show might remember we already made a connection to the Talking Heads when we connect Smith's guitar player Johnny Marr to Tommy Stinson. So this week we're going to take accordion player Steve Jordan. This Steve Jordan should not be confused with the other Steve, who is a drummer and record producer of the same name. Steve Esteban Jordan, who we're looking at this week, has been called the Jimi Hendrix of accordion, which is similar to being known as the Dale Earnhardt of bus drivers. He lent his accordion work to a number of Talking Heads projects, including the album True Stories in 1986. The following year, Jordan would appear as a street musician in the movie Born in East L.A., which starred Cheech Marin, who, of course, is best known for his work as a background vocalist on the Joni Mitchell album Court and Spark. Yes, that Cheech Marin, and yes, that Joni Mitchell, on an album that featured vocals from David Crosby and Graham Nash. Someone was also like, you know what this is missing? The sweet songbird sounds of Cheech and Chong. Keep in mind, this album also came out in 1974, so don't let anyone tell you their experimentation phase ended in the 1960s. Anyways, Mitchell is one of the best songwriters of her generation, so why wouldn't the early 2000s produce a terrible rendition of her song Big Yellow Taxi by Vanessa Carlton and the Counting Crows? 3 years earlier, the Counting Crows' This Desert Life album was produced by David Lowery, who's best known as the frontman of the bands Camper Van Beethoven and Cracker, a band whose album Gentleman Blues featured both Tommy Stinson and, not surprisingly, the other Steve Jordan we mentioned earlier. So this week we jumped all across decades to go from the Talking Heads to Steve Jordan to Cheech and Chong to Joni Mitchell to the Counting Crows and Cracker to Tommy Stinson. Back to Dianne and Beth.
And we're back.
But can you connect Tommy Stinson to Robert Patrick?
Oh.
The gauntlet's been thrown down, Jeremy.
As soon as Jeremy hears that, he's going to be like, on it.
Got it already.
All right. So our Dressed Up Like a Douche this week comes from Sara Millikan, who I went to college with. And the Ariana Grande song, it's called Thank You Next. I'm not a big Ariana Grande listener, but I did listen to this. And the lyric is Thank You Next, which she says on repeat at the end of the song. And I played it for Corbin, and we were both like, yep, it sounds just like she's saying bacon, eggs. Bacon, eggs. It's perfect. All right, Doug, do you have a guilty pleasure song?
Oh, God. Yeah, I will say I've been randomly, very recently in quarantine, going back to some high school stuff. There's been some comfort in cheesy stuff. I don't know why. I think it's just like nostalgia in quarantine is like very, very big for I think a lot of people. So I grew up in Plano, Texas. My older brother got me into Talking Heads early, so that was some of the cooler stuff, but I fell into like a lot of the mainstream kind of I got into 311, and I've been listening to a lot of 311 recently, and it's made me very happy.
It's so good.
And what's crazy is I missed out, like I hadn't listened to them in so long, so I missed so many albums, and this is like such an insult, but like there's no real evolution. It all still sounds like the initial albums, which to me is exactly what I want from them.
I know.
And I don't, but I mean, it's all just happy, fluffy fun.
Which
just
song?
fancy.
I used 311 as one of my guilty pleasure songs early on doing this podcast, and mine was Amber.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was going to say All Mixed Up.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, it's really just brought me like a very like happy comfort, and just it's most of their songs are just very like goofy and dancey and like optimistic, you know, like
There's something.
Go
ahead.
It's simple. It's very simplistic, and like you don't have to read too much into it. It's just like, hey, be happy and smoke weed and everything's okay. And it's like,
It's
okay.
the very precious way in which white guys do reggae.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's a Doug in there, but I believe he's Hispanic, right?
Okay, I don't know.
I say Martinez. Yeah, Doug
Okay.
Martinez.
I don't know. I just love it. All right, Doug, where can listeners hear and see more of you? Promote yourself.
Well, you can find me on social at Doug Mellard, Mellard, and I've got a new album out on Stand Up Records called Fart Safari 3, Fart Hard with a Vengeance. Check that out. And I actually will have a new album out. I recorded a quarantine album here, spread out on the deck, everybody wearing masks, just a handful of people, and then I put a lot of dolls in the audience. And so that it's a full quarantine album. It should be out in the next month or two, so look for that when it comes out. It's called I'm Worried About Me.
Nice.
And then, sorry, I've got a lot to promote. I'm on a podcast with Doug Benson, the one and only, called Wide World of Dougs, where we discuss everything Dougs. And it's just goofy, fun times. We got a lot of great guests. And then I have a new podcast that I just started in quarantine that it's very experimental. It's just week to week, whatever I feel like doing. Sometimes it started out I was getting high and watching Sesame Street. And
I saw that one.
it's insane. I'm a child. I'm not good at smoking weed. I'm a lightweight. My wife and I got high and watched Roadhouse and dissected that. That was fun. Sometimes I read my crazy, nonsensical short stories. It's all over the place. A lot of fun stuff. So check
It's
that
really
out.
great. Did Chris Fairbanks do the artwork to your album?
No, that was.
It looks like it.
I could see that. Yeah, I do want
Yeah.
him to do something.
Everyone does. Everyone's been like, "Hey,
God.
Chris."
That was my friend Katie Middleton, who's a
Okay.
special effects makeup artist that kind of does everything, and she kind of nailed it. It's pretty crazy.
It's really, really good. Well, Doug, thank you. I don't know where Ben went. Are you doing another tinkle, Ben? Or did you? I literally don't know where he went. He may have had to pee real bad. I think he took his earbuds out. Let's look at his apartment or his house, and I would say let's make fun of it, but it looks really great.
Yeah, no, it looks very pleasant in there.
There's a couple things on the floor I want to sweep up, but
I can't. I need to like blow up his picture here. I can't really. I'm gonna pin the video. Okay. Yeah, let's pick it apart. Yeah, there's really nothing to pick apart. It's just lovely.
It just looks really nice. I want to sit on that couch and pull a couple of those blankets over me and watch a show. He left. He took it off.
Oh my God.
Go? That's never happened before. All right. Well, Doug, you and I are going to close out this podcast unless he comes back in.
I have not had this much fun on a. It's been a while, so thank you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. I knew this would be good. I knew it would be a great show. All right, I'm gonna kick you out and see if Ben comes back. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go by myself.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
You.
Thank you.
Take care. Be safe.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Don't report. I'm gonna sit here and wait a second and see if Ben comes back in the room. Do you think he went to go wee wee? I have to go wee wee, really bad. Was there anything else I wanted to say about this episode that I didn't? I'm going to take the time to do it now. There was something. Oh, there he is. He's back. Hi, welcome back.
Sorry.
Did you go pee?
I did, and then when I came back, it threw me off. I'm sorry. You guys finish up okay?
We did. I was about to just go through my notes hoping you'd come back, but
I'm so sorry.
I have to pee really bad too.
I got to I just went for a walk. I thought I could walk it off and come back for the end. I was like, no, I can't. It's an emergency.
I gotta go.
Back, no, oh damn it.
That's great. I'm not cutting any of that out. So
don't.
So next week it's back to just you and I don't know what song we're doing yet, but you have chosen the band Pulp.
And I don't know what song we're going to do yet, but I think I've got it down to 5. So we'll see. But they're all going to be a little bit pervy because that's just what Jarvis Cocker does.
That's
so be
okay.
Ready.
I'm ready for some perv. I'm glad we could get it out there so Jeremy knows to start working. But yeah, I'm excited. Just as soon as you find out, let me know so I can do some research.
I will.
All right, guys, that was episode 53 with Doug Mellard. Go check him out on all his stuff. And any last words?
Vogue.